So yes, welcome to Cooking with Alba, and today we're going to be tough cleaning the tough mold that would come up in your clothes, and we're going to see all the things to do, not do, avoid, and most importantly, how to treat it. So first and foremost, let's look at the treatment. So to start off, I'm going to use this textile soda. If you don't get textile soda, any soda, baking soda, just use your soda. And I'm going to pour a good amount of it. It depends on the quantity of clothes you're actually using or washing. So this was quite a large batch. So I actually used quite a good amount of it. Then you're going to go in with the vinegar. Yes, if you can get spirits vinegar, yes. If you can't get, you can actually use the food grade vinegar as well. That also works. The vinegar actually helps the soda to kind of dissolve. Then you can actually go in with your warm water, not cold, not overly hot as well. You just want it to be lukewarm, yes. So I actually did that in there. If it's too hot, it becomes hard when you're putting your stuff in as well. So yes, I do that and I make a good water bath out of it. If you don't use the vinegar, it's going to be hard for that soda to dissolve and it's going to be at the base or white or something in there. So it's good to actually consider that very well. And the main trick or the main things are that, and once you're done, you put in your clothes in. Now, I try this also for my belt because my leather belt, like, because sometimes I sweat and all those things, I realized I was also looking a bit interesting. So I did a small bath for that. Then I placed it in. And you see how the soda thing actually works. If it doesn't cover up fully, you can actually mix extra and then put it on as well to ensure that every part of it is well soaked in there. And you'd want to soak this maybe 30 minutes, 1 hour. If you have more time, 2 or 3 hours, it depends on how much time you actually have on your hands. So as this was actually soaking itself up, what I also did was to run some of the baking soda in the washing machine. Sorry, this is textile soda. I keep saying baking soda. Sorry about that. So that is just to disinfect the machine and clean it as well. Because when you use your washing machine and you always close it, sometimes there may be moisture in with that heat being retained. It can also grow those kind of mold in there. So because I was treating this and I wanted to treat it and say goodbye to it forever, I had to make sure that every other thing was also what disinfected from the mold if possible. So like I said, all you need for this is just your baking soda. If you don't have a textile soda, because they sell soda which is for textiles as well, then vinegar, and of course warm water, not cold water, warm water. And you realize that even with the belt, when I place it in, you see that the color or the dirt or those things will actually be coming out of it. It's going to clean everything up and then like take away the mold stains, the mold scent, the mold itself, the remains and all those things. It's going to actually clear all of those from your clothes in there. So once this soaks up, like I said, the more time you have, the better. Usually 1 hour, 2 hours, or three may do. But if you don't have that much time, even 30 minutes is good amount of time to actually what clean this up. So for me, I just soaked that as the machine did its quick wash. Then once it was done, I moved the clothes into the machine. Then I actually used the washing soap detergent you want to use. Yes, if you want to use powder, you can actually use any you want to use. But I was using the sensitive because don't forget that at this point the soda had gone in and I just wanted that sensitive kind of care. Then I also added in the stain remover just in case like there are stains remains from the mold in the material, because sometimes mold can give you that kind of funny colors, white, blue, funny green and all those things, or gray or moldy color in your dress. So I just try to use the stain remover in as well. And this goes in like the things I've already soaked in the vinegar stuff, they go into the machine and then they're just going to have the normal wash in there. So once it's done, I'm just going to air it all out in the drying room. Yes, so I'm going to air this till it is very well dried. I think I did this for like 6 hours or 8 hours because I needed to make sure that it was very well dried. One of the main things that makes you get moldy clothes is when you wash and your clothes don't dry properly. And over here, because there's not always sun, like if you find yourself here, You need to be very much careful about it. So, like I said, the main thing you need is your baking soda. One way to prevent it is also to put your textile soda or your baking soda, keep it in containers and put it in your locker spaces. That would absorb extra moisture. That is one way to prevent mold in your lockers. You can also buy they have some dehumidifiers, yes, which you can actually put in your locker as well. Please be sure not to put your locker close to your window because sometimes there's cold air coming from the window, which is also not helpful. That was one mistake I actually made. So I bought a bigger dehumidifier and then I made my own hack. So I got this kiddie gloves, yes, very light ones, breathable ones. Then what I did was to actually um, like make smaller batches of the dehumidifier. So if you don't want to buy the pre-made like the bigger ones, you can just buy this refillable ones and then you just buy your hand gloves, the smaller sizes. Then all I'm going to do is to fill it up and then actually sew it in there. So what the dehumidifier does is it takes away extra moisture because it's moisture that gives you the mold in your clothes. So like I said, one mistake I used to make was my extra clothes storage stuff was actually placed close to my window. So a lot of the cold air that was passing by the window was not also helping me in there. And so one way to check mold is actually having a dehumidifier in your locker or wherever you keep your stuff that is giving you that mold vibes. And like I said, you can actually use a refillable ones to actually save money and gives you that size in there because the big ones are very big. Sometimes you can't have it on all your shelves or something. So I like the smaller ones and I'm able to put it in all the shelves in there as well. And this is very easy to actually stitch as well. So I'm just going to stitch and then I get this high five ones in there, which I'm going to put in every shelf over there. So, like I said, one thing that really caused a lot of mold in my things was one, I was not really drying them properly. Yes, when you dry and you don't let them dry properly, especially the pockets and those funny aspects, and you know, most of the winter clothes and things are very heavy. So, I'd always suggest as we are out of winter, we are in spring, summer is coming, we are all happy. We know autumn would come and winter would come again. So, just be careful as you wash and pack your winter clothes. Make sure that they are well washed. If you can use some textile soda, add textile soda as your pre-wash and then have it washed properly before you dry. And when you're drying, make sure it is drying for as long as possible and make sure that every part is well dried before you actually fold it. Another thing you should also avoid is folding your clothes when they are hot. It is also not the best. So once you dry them and they're done, make sure that you let it cool down, let it take its good air, then you actually fold your stuff. So this dehumidifier goes into my locker space, the working part. Then for the closed locker, I just put it in on all the shelves just to take away any extra moisture that may be there. And at this point, you know that you are guaranteed from seeing mold no more, never again in your life. Yes, so I hope this video came in handy if you're having any mold situation or moldy issue. Till I see you in the next video, do live life to the fullest. Be joyous, be merry. Lots of love for my team and I. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and share as well. Lots of love. Mwah.